Welcome to class, Jalen. Put 5 minutes on the clock. Get yourself set up. In a moment, we're going to go through our norms. Trying to get attendance straight over here. You might also, I'm going to put in the chat, take advantage of the link. And it's to get to the classroom for today. We'll talk about it briefly after the norms. Welcome to class, Edward. Start getting your screen set up, and I'm gonna put in the chat the link to get to the classroom you see on the screen. We're gonna talk about that after the norms. So go ahead, click on that and make sure it works for you. So I did that. Everybody's coming into the room, looks like. We'll begin our norms in a minute. Hello, Aaliyah. Couple more minutes. Let me get Aaliyah marked present. All right, we're gonna get started on norms in a moment. Just trying to give them these last 2 minutes so we can get started. So everybody should be setting up their documents, get into Google, make sure you log in, and Etsy. You're gonna need it. Also, put in chat one more time the link to my classroom. You guys might want to bookmark it so you could use it later. Make sure you click on that link so it can open up, and you'll be ready to follow along with me about how to use this classroom for extra credit. Welcome, Mr. Rush. Welcome to class, Courtney.
Why it took that long to let me in?
It didn't let you in. You're in now though.
What's the word of the day in the classroom term of the day? Wait,
Who's
never
that?
mind, never mind.
You got it. All right, let's see who else just came in the room. Uh,
Mr.
Courtney,
Tyler.
Jalen. Who's that? Autumn? Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Autumn.
Mr. Tyler, do you know when we're supposed to be taking SATs?
That was today, Autumn.
The
Yeah, Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm saying because we all students, we did not get no message from
We did
nobody
not get
saying that.
nan message.
That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out too.
Contact Mr. Funes. Don't get mad. Contact Funes, and maybe he can set you up with a different day. But I do know it was today, and they did announce it in Townhouse a lot, October 14th, and that's today. Okay, so let's see here. Speaking of which, you need to ask them if they want me to continue SAT prep for you seniors, because that's practice through Khan Academy that can get you a little more comfortable in taking that test if and when you do take it. All right, so norms, right? Let's move this out the way. I'm going to put in the chat my Bitmoji classroom so you guys can use it as a resource for extra credit, and we'll discuss how to get it in a moment. Norms. We're going to go through the norms together. I'm not calling your name. I just need you to read the norm that's on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top of the list, and that would be, let's see here, Aaliyah Mims. Can you read number 1?
No one has the right to hurt another person.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Hall, number 2.
Education in the classroom are sacred.
Thank you. Mr. Dixon, number 3.
We never behave in a way that would just cut it ourselves, our school, our family.
Thank you, sir. Who's next, Mellis? Edward, can you read number 4?
At Excel Academy, software student is always a lady or a gentleman.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Stuckey, number 5.
We take part in Excel Academy at Southwest.
Thank you. Coming to the academic norms, Mr. Gray, can you read number 1?
Respect the opinions of others.
Thank you, sir. Going back to the top with Aaliyah, number 2. Aaliyah Mims, are you there? Okay, so Autumn, can you read number 2?
You said number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
We respect the coach of the classroom.
Thank you. Courtney, number 3.
We are attentive to participate.
Thank you, sir. Number 4, Edward.
Miss
We have
Tyler,
high
you hear me?
expectations for ourselves, our peers, and our teachers.
Yes, Aaliyah, I did. Can you read number 5?
We are here to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so everybody, you should open up a Google Doc. Get started on that because I'm going to be talking through my Bitmoji classroom that I just put in the chat. If you don't have it in the chat because you came in a little late, I'll put it in there again. In fact, I'll put it in there now. Aaliyah, pretty good. Okay, that's a title, so make sure you, Aaliyah, put that in your Google Doc because we're going to start on that in a moment. All right. So you guys start with the name, document, header, and title. And Aaliyah just got 10 points for giving us the title that quick. All right. So let me go through our classroom real quick. A lot of you guys might have already seen this. This is just for students who haven't. But while I'm going through this, if you want to get a jump on the problem, just check your notes. These are the same problems from last Wednesday. So check your Google Drive and see if you can find notes on how to do this problem. But set it up because we're going to have a share out. And if you have a lot done, you can leave a little bit early. But you got to be able to show what you've worked on during class, synchronous time. All right, so what do we have? I sent to you guys in the chat my classroom, and this is where you can try to get extra credit if you choose to do it. So here we have it. In the classroom, this is the first page when you click on the link. And this bulldog right here takes you to our school. All right, so this is where you go to school at. This is how you reach us if you need help, support, or just knowing what your grades are like, okay? So that's the bulldog in the actual slide. Next is this picture in the middle. You click on this picture in the middle with the L is equal to, it's Lagrangian. It's the equation of light, one of the things I loved about physics. So if you click on that, it'll take you to this page here, and it'll tell you all about who your teacher is, me. All right. So I encourage you guys to set up your own LinkedIn accounts because if you click on this, you might not be able to get there. But I've been working in industry and education and engineering for 20 years. So just so you know who's teaching you. Going back to the classroom, you have this extra credit picture, right? So you click on this picture and it takes you straight to CERN. All right. If you click on that picture, it'll start up with an image. In fact, let me do it so you'll see it. And I'm going to tell you how you get extra credit. So it loads once you click on that picture. And this is in Geneva, Switzerland, when I was there working for the government, studying particle physics. So this is why I want to train you guys to become engineers. If you click on any of the latest news articles, read them, and give a 2-page report on what happened in the article, you can get credit towards one quiz grade that you miss. But you got to submit that before Friday. All right, so definitely use your classroom to get there. Next, how do we get to our classes? Also, this link up here is just some meditation music, so you guys can chill out when you're doing your homework. You can click on that at the YouTube link, and it's nice music. So you click on me, for instance, and everybody should be here. So I'm gonna go through this class real quick so we get to the problem. Courtney, thank you for the, Courtney also put the questions, everybody, in the chat. So you wanna put that in your Google Doc as well. All right, now how do you get to class once you use this slide? Make sure you bookmark this slide that I gave you in the chat, which is my classroom. If you click on me, it'll take you to the recent videos. If you wanna know which videos are gonna be in these boxes, just look at the date. So I have videos for computer science, physics, and in engineering class before us. So if you guys want to get a jump before you come to class, this video should be there already. You can click on this box and it'll take you straight to the video of today's class. Today's class for engineering B, or 5th period, will be put in there by at least 4:30 p.m. today. Okay, so use this slide to get back there in case it's hard for you to find the videos in SB. All right, so how do you get to your class once you use this? Why is it important? This is the computer science class. This is the physics with algebra class. And this is you guys, career technical education, post-secondary endeavors, trade skills. You click on this, and it'll take you to our classroom. In our classroom, there'll be extra credit spaces that pop up all the time. Also, in each classroom, there's an ESB button. So if you notice, there's always an ESB button. If you click on the ESB button, it'll take you here, and it's basically how you are able to take care of getting into ESB. If you're on a phone, if you click on this picture, it'll take you straight to ESB. If you don't know how to log in, username, format, and the password we usually give you is here. If you click on this cup, it's going to take you to a video that shows you how to log into ESB. Okay, so let's begin our class, right? Come out of this, and I'm saying that because Courtney's pushing us along. Let's get started. So what you want to do is, and pay attention because I'm gonna feed you the notes. You guys got to turn in this work because we're coming in fifth week. And it's only 8 weeks, I think, in the entire quarter. So you want to get a lot done before the grade book officially closes and we start quarter 2. So go to ESB and also open a window. Have your window size like mine, and make sure you're logged into Google, your Gmail account that you will use in case you have to take a quiz on this stuff, because all the notes I give you should be there. This is your digital notebook, your Gmail account. All right, so go to Google Apps and open up a blank document. That's my calendar. I didn't want to do that. Go back. So we're going to go to Google Docs, and we're going to start a blank document. Okay, so now we're going to name the document. This is what we usually do. So by now, this habit should be ingrained in all of you guys. So do now. And today's date is the 14th, October 2020. All right, next is our header. So that's going to be your name. All right. And then, of course, the date again, 14th of October 2020. The period you're in is 5th, the last period of the day. And you guys are considered Intro to Engineering with Robotics. We can get to the fun stuff, robotics, as soon as we get done with the basics of understanding circuits. And our school does have a robotics team, by the way. So if we can get you guys on point with the assignments and turning stuff in, we can start programming robots. But it's hard to do if people are not turning in work. So we can't get to the fun stuff until we get the basics under our belt. Courtney gave us the title. Let me go back up in the chat. If you look in the chat, actually, Aaliyah gave it to us first. Sorry about that. At 2:48, Aaliyah Mims said, "What's the electric potential voltage in brackets review?" We'll copy that, and that's your title. All right, so put that in the Google Doc here. Now, I just copied that from the chat. You could also get that from Edsby if you're not sure where to find it. All right, so let me zoom in. And this is supposed to be font, I want to say at least 12. Make it a little bigger so you see it. If you notice in the brackets here, this is our classroom term of the day. All right, so I'm gonna come down one and we're gonna figure out what our exit slip is supposed to be. So exit slip. You should be typing what I'm typing so you can get full credit, guys. And let's see here. Exit slip is worth 25 points, right? And this is towards previous assignments, not today's assignment. So what is that? What do you got to do to get those points? Classroom term a day is at what? Look inside the brackets. I'll tell you what it is every time. So it's electric potential with voltage. It's always going to be the classroom term if you're looking for it. The next one is the word of the day. And it is deficient. So a sentence for deficient is, some students don't turn in the work, so their grades end up becoming deficient. It's up to you to figure out what deficient is and type in the definition, and also type in the definition for electric potential in terms of voltage to get the 25 points. Okay. This is supposed to say worth 25 points. Okay. So you need that part. I'm put it in the chat so you'll have it. Put that in your document like I did mine, right after the title. All right. Everybody should see that. Next is, of course, the problems, and Mr. Dixon provided those problems for us. Today is a review day, right? And I told you already, these problems are from last Wednesday. So I'm going to give a clock of a minute to see who can search their notes and tell me how to start off these problems. If you can put it in the chat how to start off these problems, you will get 25 points to previous scores. Points add up to help out previous scores. So I'm going to take about, like I said, 1 minute to see if anybody can find in their Google Docs or their Google Drive the notes from last Wednesday to do this problem. And by the way, this is how much you're supposed to have typed up so far if you've been following along in class. So if you know what to do, type it in the chat or copy it from your notes and put it in the chat. How do we start this problem off? All right, so it looks like nobody, let me get the chat, nobody remembers how to do it. All right, let's go through the notes and I'll feed the notes into the chat. But the problem is, if you copy,
I got it.
You got it, Edward? Go ahead, let me see.
Yeah. I'm finna.
You still get the points. You can still get the 25 points if you got it. Let's see. Put it in the chat what you got. And who's coming into the room now? Let's see here. Mr. Valencia, welcome to class. Yeah, try to catch up with us. We're already starting our document off and about to do the problem.
I'm finna put it to the chat right now.
Okay, I'm waiting a second. Let's see if you got it. Everybody else should be getting that. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see what he got. Okay. Okay. I think he has it. Let's take a look. So that's close. Well, let's take a look at what the notes would have been. And you get 10 points, not the 25, but let's take a look. So we're using this equation here. You was close, Edward, but not exactly. So everybody
I
see
got
what
that too.
you got that too.
Yeah, I just been
You only
playing.
got one shot at it, bro. I'm glad you got it though. That means you're taking great notes and you're gonna pass the class. So we'll put in the chat what you need, Edward. If you got it, you can take the same thing and set it up the same way. So let's put this here, and I'm gonna put it in our document as well. Okay. So at the end of the day, you should have pretty much all this done, right? And this is third period, but you guys are fifth. So it'll look like this. I'm just showing you the notes we would have had. So let me put it in here. This is what you need and how you have to edit it. Your document should look like this so far if you've been keeping up with me. In-class work helps because even if you didn't finish the homework problem, you get 50% for doing this part in class. And half of that 50% is how much you show me in class. So if you didn't show me nothing, you're going to see, say you did all the work, you'll see 75% because 25% of the in-class points you didn't get because you didn't share nothing. So please type it up now so you can get all your points. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes, like 2 minutes, to type this much up. I put it in the chat, but make sure it's edited the same way or points will be deducted. So I'll give you about, let's say, 3 minutes to get this much typed up. You're going to need these notes for the homework problem. It's practically the same problem, just different numbers. Same steps too. Now, I really want you guys to get this done because next week we're going into motor technology. And then after that, we're going to circuit analysis. And these notes are not going to get any easier, so don't fall behind. So in 2 minutes, I'm going to share the next set of notes, and you're going to have to edit it to make it the same. So get this part done.
That 7.68 is 10 to the negative 7 power.
Yes, Edward, it is. I was going to have you guys edit that. So you're talking about this part here, right? I'm going to delete this and delete that. And it's not -7. It's going to be raised to that power. So you're absolutely correct, sir. 5 points. Thanks. Great observation. So it'll look like that. All right, so in about 40 seconds, I'm going to proceed with the next set of notes. Make sure you edit your notes the same way as I've done on the screen. Okay, so it's time for the next set of notes. There's one part that I think it's missing from here, and that's what is K? And K is electrostatic constant. It's equal to, let's go here. So it is this value here. So I want you to know it in advance. So when we do our known values, you'll be okay. So that's K. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Again, you have to edit this so it looks the same, but I'm also put the known and unknown values in there as well. So that's K. And I'm going to put this in the chat so you can have that. Make sure you edit that correctly. That's not 109, it's 10 to the power of 9. All right. All right, let's continue on. Unknown and unknown values. What do we have here? So in this problem, it was 7.86 times 10 to the ninth, right? 10 to the negative seventh, right? And that's inside of our problem and every other value. So if you wonder where I got these values from, just take a look at the problem. First, I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can put it in the document so you can see how it should look. That's how it should look, right? See how the coulombs are raised to the power of 2 and so on and so forth, right? See 14 if that does damage. Okay. There we go. And then now to put it in the chat so you can see it or copy it, and you just got to edit it so it's the same way. That's how you get full points. I'm giving you literally all the notes as if you guys are in college. You just got to make sure you do it the same way as I'm showing you. So take a look at what I'm doing and make it look the same. All right, so 2 more minutes. We got a few more notes to go. And then I can give you tips and clues on how to do the homework problem. So get this typed up. In 2 minutes, I'm going to give you the next set of notes, how to solve for what you need to get these answers, especially the volts. So in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'm going to share with you guys the rest of the notes. Make sure the power of 2 is raised. This power of 2 is raised. This power of 9 is raised. And it's -7. That's not in the chat. It's going to say 10 minus 7. That's not correct. So it has to be edited the same way to get full credit. All right. So how much time we got left on this part? 1 minute. And then we're going to supply the chat with the other set of notes, a strategy. Again, this is a review problem from last week, and it's a goal to boost up scores. So you guys need to make sure the notes are accurate because you're going to use them for your asynchronous problem. If you don't have these notes, that problem is going to be hard too. A lot of students are turning in one part of the problem and getting 50% credit. You have to do the synchronous and asynchronous problem in this assignment and turn in by 8 p.m. to get 100% credit. So please, please take the best notes. You're going to need these on Friday when you go to your Google Drive. All right, 20 seconds. The next set of notes are about to appear. You should have as much as I have typed up on your screen because we're going to share out before class is done. Depending upon how much of the synchronous problem you completed, you might be able to leave 5 minutes early. Otherwise, you will stay with me until we figure out why you can't get this typed up. All right, so that's my clock. That's the next set of notes time, right? So here it is, and pay attention to how I put it in the screen, all right? Because there's certain parts that strike out in this problem. If you don't have it striked out when I edit it, this is a scientific report, in my opinion. If you don't have these elements, you will have points taken off, and you're going to be a little disappointed. So just, I'm giving you literally all of, like, imagine if you was in college. I'm giving you all the notes you would need to be successful in class. All right, so here's the next set of notes, right? I put it in the chat already. And it'll come down one. This is the rest of the stuff that you got to do, right? See what I have crossed out in the strategy section? We start with the voltage, right? And this equation came from up top. Now, I already put this in the chat, so you want to make sure you transfer this over to your notes. So this is the voltage is equivalent to our electrostatic constant, Q, divided by our radius squared. So if I come down here, you'll see I'm using the same strategy, right? Now, there's some things that cross out. The meters cross out, the meter square cross out with the other one. So if you come over here, you see this meter square, because this power of 2 will make this meter squared. They cross out. Coulombs, right? they cross out because you have Coulomb squared. This turns into just coulombs. Next is, of course, we have Newton coulombs and Newton coulombs over here. They remove right here and go to the end of the problem. Lastly, you end up with Newton Coulomb as your last measure, and you have to do this calculation. Now I'm going to do this calculation with you guys because you have to do this calculation on your own in the asynchronous problem. So while you're putting this together and editing it correctly, let me pull up Math Papa real quick. 1 second, I'm going to grab this. And this is not exactly the calculation we did, but I'm going to do it with you so you can see how to do it on your own with the asynchronous. Let me grab this link, copy that, and put this here for you. Okay. So now I'm going to calculate the final answer. And this is what you have to do to be successful with your homework problem. And hopefully you guys are still editing the steps. So what does that look like, right? So
can you move the dock over a little bit so we can see the whole problem? Or is that the only thing that crossed out right there?
Let me do that part so you can see it. Who's that, Edward? Yeah. So this is what it looks like, Edward. And then I'll do the calculation last. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys 5 minutes to catch up, and then we'll calculate the final answer so you know how to do it yourself. That is the final answer, but I wanted you to use Math Papa so you can get used to making the calculation for the final answer and your homework problem. So I'm gonna leave it up there for 5 minutes. You guys can tell me to scroll up or scroll down so you can get all of these notes correct. So we're gonna have a share out at the end, and I want to see who finishes the asynchronous problem. All I'm gonna do is give you the known and unknowns and the steps you should use. I'm gonna see who finishes in 10 minutes the actual homework problem. That's why I'm feeding you all the notes. But this is all you guys gonna do on a Friday quiz. I'm just trying to make sure you practice it though. I think you're making these quizzes a little too hard. So when the clock expires, we're going to talk about calculating the final answer and then talk about our asynchronous problem, our homework problem, so you can finish it. I'm not going to do all the steps, but I'll try to walk you through some of it. It's up to you to finish it off. All right, so I think that was sufficient time for you guys to get copied down what you needed. It's 3:16, so I wanted to show you how to use this calculator that's in the link of the chat, and it's Math Papa. So I'm gonna resize, and all you're gonna do is type in what I type in if you're doing the homework problem yourself. So scroll over, and you've done all the edits. It's gonna be parentheses 8.99 multiplied by 10. To raise something to a power, you hold shift and press 6, and it'll raise it up, and it's to the 9th power. Press over 1 with the directional key, close parentheses, multiply by parentheses, and we got to divide something. So it's going to be 7.68 multiplied by 10, hold shift and press number 6 to raise it to a power. That's -7. Press the arrow key over, close parentheses, but I messed up because I got to divide that, right? So you notice I divided it and only divided one of those. So in order to divide this whole thing, come in and go back one, because that's what happens. Times 10. Come back here. So we're going to say 7.68 divided by, there we go. And then I can finish this off, times 10. That's why I like symbol add, because you can press the divide feature. And that's raised to the -7. Come down to the denominator, and it's going to be 3.89. Again, that's going to be squared if you see the equation over here in our Google Doc, right? And it's going to be 3.89 raised to the power of 2. So that's squared. Close parentheses and hit enter. And it generates the answer of what you see on the screen, which is 456.27. Now you guys got to do the same thing for your asynchronous problem here, okay? Because you got all the steps you need. So let's talk about the asynchronous problem real quick, so you can have that in your back pocket, and you can turn this in on time, right? How do we set this up? Well, we're going to use the same notes. So come here, grab these notes, and copy this. And you're using the same exact notes, not the same knowns and unknowns, but the same notes, really. So what does this problem say? The electric potential is 2.4 meters. Hint, hint, that's your distance. And from a point charge, that is 3.7 times 10 to the 4th power. So I'm going to turn this to the 4th power real quick. And volts. You blow this up some so you can see that. I just changed that a little bit so it looks mathematical. So now what do we have? Well, like I said, we have these same notes. So I'm going to put this in the chat again. Edit the same way so you can get, and I'll give you 2 minutes to get it edited again, or you can copy it from up top and plug it in. So this is the notes from earlier. It's the notes we're going to use in our asynchronous problem. You're going to put that there. So hurry up and do that. If you did the editing, you should be able to copy it from up top when we did this together and pretty much do the problem. Now, I'm going to do the known and unknown values because it's 320. And then I'm going to give you guys a little time to try to figure out, using this strategy, how to calculate the final answer. And we'll see for 30 points who gets the final answer correct, because we'll calculate
Listen to that for the second synchronous problem.
You're talking about what, sir?
What you just pasted in the chat.
So this is, I'm starting on the homework problem, right? And I'm telling you, it uses the same notes, Edward. So you're going to put those notes right after 2A, the homework problem, because we're going to use them again to do the homework problem. Okay? All right, so known and unknown values. I'm going to copy this from here in our synchronous or in-class problem, and we're going to change the values to what we have. Okay, so this is why I like using Google Docs, and you guys are starting to see, because once I type something up, I can use it again. All right, so is this the correct values? No, and I'll put the correct values in the chat. But first, let's examine the problem. So distance is 2.4 meters. It's not 3.89, right? I'm just taking this from the problem, guys. I'm showing you how to think about the problem. So it's 2.4 meters. R, right? That's the distance. You know it's distance because it says meters. Don't get confused. What's next? We have a new point charge or Q value of 3.7 times 10 to the fourth power volts. A lot of volts. I'll take that from here. And that is our, not volts, right? Not Q. So Q is not given in this problem. We got to find it probably. So that is our volts value here now. All right. Don't be confused. This means we're going to do a little algebra. A hint, hint. So what is it asking for? What is electric potential, right? From a point charge in volts. No, it says the electric potential. So they told us that. But they're asking for Q now. So in our unknown, we have Q is equal to, so we come over. Q, or our charge, is equal to some number we're going to calculate in coulombs. All right. It's a bit of a challenge because you got to do a little algebra to find Q. But I showed you some algebra in other problems. This one you solve straight out. This one you got to do some algebra for. So what do we do? All right, and this I'm gonna do the algebra with you, but you guys got to find the final answer. Make sure I got everything. K doesn't change. That stays constant. Voltage did because we given in the problem in 2.4. So we got to find Q. So I'm gonna take this and solve for Q. All right. Before I do solve for Q, let me put this here. I'm gonna say strategy, and I'll put these part of the notes into the chat so you guys can work it out. Strategy: solve for Q using algebra. All right. Blow that up some for you. Why didn't that change? Because it's Roberto. I think it's subscript. I think that's the issue. Nope. All right, so let's delete that because that's tripping. It is. It's subscript. I see what it is now. Hold on 1 second, guys. So let's turn that off because it's still too small. Let's try this. If not, I'm gonna type it up again. There we go. Awesome sauce. All right. So now I say we're using what? We're using this equation again. And we got to solve for Q. So let's do these steps, and then I'm gonna give you guys time to figure out the rest, and I'll also see how much you've gotten done. So now we got to solve. We got to get Q by itself. So the first thing I see is we got to get K on the other side of the equation. So I'm gonna take this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide by K on both sides of the equation because I want to remove K. So here are the changes to the equation. So you can see what happened from the top equation to the below. And you can see my edits to get this ready. And then we're going to divide by, like I said, K. Okay. And what you do to one side, in algebra, the rule is you got to do to the other. Okay. So now some things are going to cross out. What crosses out is this part here. And of course, this little part here, this K, and then multiply it because the K cancels out. All right, so what's our new equation look like now? Well, we know this part is all gone now, right? And we know this part is all gone now because we canceled it out. But our Q is still not by itself. So let's work on it. How do we get Q by itself? We see R squared, or radius squared, is divided. Well, since it's divided, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to say multiply by R squared, which is this portion. And these are the changes to the above equation. So I'm going to put this in a slightly different color so you'll know what changed. So I'm going to put this in orange. Now you can't see that, right? How about like a darker red? And then what you do to one side, again, you got to do to the other. So we're going to take this and I'll come over here and put all this in parentheses. is being multiplied. And these are the changes from the above. Right? So it's VK, V and K, there we go. And don't forget you're multiplying by R squared over here as well. As algebra says, you're going to hear me say this 1,000 times throughout this quarter before we end. What you do to one side, you got to do to the others, and all of the physics and math you guys are going to see with me. So what cancels out? All right, so of course this is gone, right? Because R squared divided by R squared is 1. Cross that out. And of course this little parentheses is gone too. And we have a new equation now. So let's see what that is, or what that looks like. Because all that is pretty much gone, that crossed out. So all of this jazz is gone, right? And all of this jazz is gone. So we end up with a new equation of, let's just clean it up. Here, until you go over there. Q is equivalent to, keep doing that and actually autocorrect me, is equal to this, right? Okay, so I'm going to just go to highlight all that and change this color to one color. And that's your final answer, right? But you first got to put the numbers in. So it's 328. I think I can do a little more with you to see if we can get the final answer, right? Because I want to get you guys at least 5 minutes early out of here. So what is it? What's the rest of the steps? We're going to copy this, come down one, and unplug this in. Now we're at the point where we put our numbers in and solve. So that's going to be what? Well, if you look at our equation that we solve via algebra for charge, or Q, that's going to be voltage. We got voltage. That's 3.7, this number here, times 10 to the 4th volts. A lot of voltage. You'd be shocked. So put this inside of parentheses because I want to encapsulate that. Okay, so that's our voltage. What's this K? Well, we know what K is. It's electrostatic constant, right? So that's going to be this number here, and it's all that jazz in there too. So let's take that. That's our K constant. Put the values in. And then lastly, we have R, right? So what is R? Well, if we look at our known values, our radius that we're going to square, right? So I'm not going to take the 2. I'm going to put in parentheses, and I'm going to take the value from here. It's 2.4 meters. Literally all I'm using is algebra to do this homework problem for you guys. So that's your new setup. So what crosses out? All right. So what crosses out is, you notice meter squared, and then this power of 2 here will square these meters. So they pretty much cancel out, right? Kill that. Cross that out. We're going to make sure we cross out coulombs, because coulombs squared, you know, at the end we want just coulombs. So if you notice, you got meter squared, and inside of this newton meters you have a coulomb, but it crosses out as well, because the final answer would just be coulomb. So this meters is gone, because that meter squared and that meter squared on the bottom, they cross out. And then there you got coulomb squared and a newton. So you got volts here, and this newton meters coulomb squared will leave just coulombs, because you got to look inside what volts are. So that goes away as well. And newtons go away, because you're only going to have coulombs left. All right. And it's not going to be coulomb square anymore, because we lose a coulomb with the volts and the newton meters. So it's just going to be coulombs. Cross that out. All right. So what does our new equation look like? Well, I'll show you so you can calculate all this, right? That's going to be, let's clean it up. These is gone. And you copy and paste it. Yeah, but you got to edit it though, Aaliyah. This is gone. Right? And this is all gone. The coulombs are going to come outside of all this, and we're just going to calculate. So let's remove that and put it here. Turn this off. She's like, I gotta copy and paste this so I can edit it. I know. For the sake of time, I will do that. All right, so this is gone. Now let's not forget about that. We can get to the raw calculation. And this is your new calculation, right? All right, cool. So let's get it finished. I'm not going to type the final answer in there, but I will remove all this jazz and say it's going to be some number in coulombs. So how do you type this in? And then I'm going to share all of this to the chat for you guys. Because it's 3:32. We only got a little time left. You got 3 minutes to get the rest of these notes, right? So let me stop here and not calculate. I want you to use MathPapa to get the final answer, the correct final answer. And make sure you type it in steps. So in parentheses, you got 3.7 times 10 to the 4th divided by 8.99 times 10 to the 9th. That's all in parentheses multiplied. That's one fraction multiplied by 2.4 squared. Whew, that's a lot I said, right? All right, so chat, where did I leave off? I left you with the K constant. Let's do this part of the strategy and see how much, or maybe I could put all of it in there and you guys can do it. She said, I know. Oh, yeah, we all went in there. So make sure you cross out the right things. Make sure you calculate the final answer because it's not the final answer, but I did most of the work for you guys. All you gotta do is make sure you copy it and edit it right and finish the problem off. Okay, so it's 3:33. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to finish up. I'll ask for share outs. If you have something worthy to share, you'll be able to leave 5 minutes early or less. So 2 minutes. Let me know if I gotta scroll up or down. Jalen, you ready to share already? You can go ahead and start sharing, man. I got the share feature open. If you think you're ready to get out of here. But you got to calculate that final answer before 8 p.m. too. Don't leave it as it is. It's not done, and make sure it's edited correctly. But if you're ready to share, or do you want to wait till the timer's done? Give yourself some time to finish up. Oh, no, he's sharing. Okay. All right. I see you. You got no, but you got to share your document. You share them in your chat. You got the rest of it in there. You got to finish up, man. You don't have all the stuff. So finish up that homework problem, but you got a lot done. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I know you got to go, but finish it up by 8. Send it into Ezzy by 8 p.m. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so who's next that would like to share?
Me.
Okay, who's me? Gray? Go ahead, Mr. Gray. You be doing the work in class, brother. Make sure you turn it in, though. Like, you be tripping. Turn it in, boy. Golly. How you gonna do all that work and not turn it in? It's like going to work and like, I don't want to get a check. Okay, I see you. Okay. All right, finish both problems up now, and you got the video to review. You're free to go. I'll see you tomorrow. 8 p.m., dude.
Okay.
Let's see who's next. Edward, you got anything to share? Coming down the list. Don't nobody be afraid. If you got something to share it. Okay, Edward sharing. It's looking good, but I gotta see the document.
Second problem though.
Okay, but you got the notes, right? Okay, let me stop this timer. Yeah, dude, you're looking good. I'm looking at what you did. Okay, so you got to finish up the second problem's notes. Oh, you got the second problem. You got to still do the calculation though. You got the MathPapa link so you can calculate it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so finish it up. 8 p.m. Download as a PDF. Put it in Edsby so I can grade it.
All right.
See you tomorrow, dude. Great work. Who's next on my list? I got the Bulldogs. I got Autumn. I got Courtney. I got Aaliyah. I wish she would become a Bulldog. Who's ready to share so we can get out of here? It's 3:36. Any one of you three. This depends on who has the courage.
I'll show.
Go ahead, Courtney. Oh, Autumn jumped in front of you, Courtney.
Cool.
Okay.
Now I can just calculate the answer real quick.
Yeah, calculate the answer. Autumn, you're missing the word of the day and stuff. So you want that exit slip, dear. Do you have that part in the chat or no? Do you need me to post it again?
Mr. What's your name, Mr. Tyler?
Dang, what's my name? What do you need, Autumn?
The word of the day is right here. I got to do a
You got it. Okay.
definition.
I didn't see it. What about the classroom term, Autumn?
Classroom term. I got to get that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it in the chat. Take that, and I will see you later. Make sure you turn it in, Autumn. Well, let me not say that because you're gonna cuss me out. Just get it done, Autumn. Because you're gonna be
I'm
like,
not
I
gonna
always
cut you
turn
out.
it
I'm
in.
being nice today.
She be cussing me out. I always turn it in. All right. So there you go, Autumn. Aaliyah is presenting, I think. Hold on now. Let me see something. Yeah, I think Autumn, you're done. Aaliyah is presenting. Okay. I thought I saw another Aaliyah Mims pop up. You jumping in front of Courtney. Okay. Okay. Okay, Aaliyah. Yeah, I was gonna say turn it sideways, sweetheart. Thank you. That's a lot better. This is looking great. You getting stuff done, Aaliyah. I just need you to turn that working woman, and finish that answer off. Okay. All right. Download it and put it in Edsby. I'm glad I got these recordings. I know you working. Okay, you can stop sharing, Leah. Turn in by 8. I'll see you later, or see you tomorrow, I should say. Or do you last one up to deck, sir?
This thing just copied the whole calculator.
What happened, Courtney? You copied the whole calculator. I don't
I
understand.
don't know how. I'm gonna just say the answer's still right there. It's just a whole bunch of extra stuff right there.
Well, it's an engineering calculator, Courtney. I mean, that's what it's gonna do. But let's see what you got, man, so you can get out of here. It's 3:38. I'm pretty sure you got a lot done. There you go. There you go. Awesome, dude. I knew you had it in you. Okay. Whoa. Hey, Courtney, you only need 2 digits, brother. So you go back up quick.
I'm
Whoa.
going to delete
You
it,
gotta
but
fix all that. No, fam, I don't need all that. So it's 4,665 point, let's say 54, Courtney. You don't need the rest of those numbers, dude. And it's measured in coulombs, by the way. So take those other numbers off. That's just a mess. And 54, right? And just type coulombs, space coulombs. There you go. All right. Okay. Now fix the rest of that. Get your word of the day stuff done, dude, and turn
I
me in
can't
tonight.
delete it.
You can't delete. Yes, you can.
It won't let me move it from right here.
All right. I don't want you getting frustrated because I know how you get down. Just download it as a PDF, Courtney, and turn it in when you get done with it. Okay. Don't worry about that. I'll overlook it.
All right.
All right. 3:39, dude. I'll see you tomorrow. Turn it in by 8, though.